Hello, good evening. How are you today? I'm just coming to you because I was reading something interesting this morning when I went for my morning meditation and my morning coffee. And I had got something in the mail the other day. I must have sent out for it. I don't remember. And probably was a while and probably said 46 weeks to delivery. I forgot. Okay, so I got this in the mail yesterday and it's basically saying, let's see, you can understand Bible prophecy. But I was just going on that for myself. I wasn't intending on uploading a video. But I just want to share something with you. And because I have been going back and forth on the YouTube pages and other subscriptions that I have, and I like to look at movies or however from YouTube and Christian um, movies or however, and I go to it and I look at it on YouTube. Sometimes I have to look at it part one, part two, but however, I look at it. Um, but I was also going I go on there because I get someone to send me a video, and they want me to look at some things, and I do. So if you want to send me anything to look at or watch, I do that. Um, but that I do look at stuff when they about prophecy in the world today, prophecy news, um, biblical news. I get tired of prophetic news reports and the things that's going on in Libya and all that, how that associate with us today and tied up with the Bible. So on this, I just want to read a little bit that I have been reading up on anyway for my own personal study. But this really pointed out because I was like, a lot of things really do have to happen in order for Christ's return. A lot of things have been fulfilled, but a lot of it from the Old Testament has been fulfilled in Christ's time and ours as well. However, there are a lot of more prophecies, even from prophecies of old, from ancient of days, before Christ even walked the earth, that has not yet to be fulfilled as of yet. And these things has to come to pass before Christ's return. Now, we are facing a lot of perilous times, and I do apologize if, because I can see myself, and I do apologize if I'm looking a little tired, whatever. But I have a killer toothache, and my allergies are really whooping my butt right now. So it's just one of those days. But I'm dealing, and I'm gonna keep pressing on. So anyway, I just want to go over here, and I'm just gonna read it from here. Okay. So just to let you know what I'm reading. Uh, I don't know if you can see, it's a glare on here. But Jesus Christ, life and death in prophecy. Okay. So I just want to read that a little bit to you guys, because I can't tell you where to go get it because honestly I don't remember. So you can get it. It was free. If I sent it off or however, sometime to come in the mail, sometime it's free, sometime if they have things I have to pay for, and I really do, I will pay for it. And some things are free, and it's just for informational purposes, and I do order those as well. But for the life of me, I cannot remember where I got this from or what website I went to. So I'm just going to share this with you and say, many are vaguely aware that Jesus Christ's birth, life, and death were prophesied in Hebrew scriptures. In Hebrew scriptures, the Old Testament, but few are aware of the sheer number of prophecies and are astonishingly precise detail foretold up to thousands of years in advance. These provide a powerful confirmation of accuracy in the Bible prophecy. The Jewish New Testament listed 52 prophecies fulfilled in Christ's birth, life, and death, as stated in 81 passages in the Old Testament. In many ways, the Old Testament pointed forward to Christ's first and second coming. All of the messianic prophecies of the Bible discuss not only hundreds of scriptures that foreshadow the life, the death, and the ministry and the return of Jesus Christ. What What were some of the prophecies Jesus fulfilled? Well, let's start with this. Let's notice a few. He was a descendant of King David. Now, that was in Isaiah 11, verse 1 through 5, and Matthew chapter 1, verse 1 and 6. He was born in Bethlehem, Mecca, 5 and 2, and Matthew 2 and 1. One would precede him who would announce his coming. That's in Isaiah 40, 3 and verse 5, and Malachi 3 and verse 1, and Matthew 3 verse 1 through 3. His own people would reject him. I just got through reading that to you guys on yesterday. His own people will reject him. Isaiah 53 and 3, and John 1 and 11, and it's another part in Matthew as well. A friend would betray him. That's in Psalms 41 and 9, John 13, 18 through 30. The pieces for the price for his betrayal would be 30 pieces of silver. Zechariah 11 and 12, and Matthew 26 and 15. 30 pieces of silver would buy a potter's field. Zechariah 11, 13, and Matthew 27, 3 through 10. Wicked people would pierce his hands and feet. Psalms 22, 16, Luke 23, 33, 24, 38, verse 24, chapter 24, verses 38 through 40. I do apologize for stumbling. And, sorry, my eyes are trying to focus here. My allergies, sorry. He will suffer execution, but without breaking any of his bones. Psalms 34 and 20, and John 19, 33 through 36. Other was cast lots for his garment. Psalms 22, 18, John 19, 23 through 24. And he will be buried with he will be buried with the wealthy. Isaiah 53 and 9, Matthew 27, verse 57 through 60. And God will resurrect him from the grave. Psalm 16:10, Acts 2, 30 through 32. Jesus himself could not have controlled how these prophecies were fulfilled. No one can control the circumstances of his own birth, who his ancestors are, or where he is born. Nor could he control the actions of others in betraying him, putting him to death, and laying his body in an unused tomb of a wealthy man. Yet the prophets had written these remarkable details in advance, up to 1,000 years earlier, foretelling precise details of Christ's death by crucifixion long before this became common as a method of execution. The four Gospels abound with accounts of how many messianic prophecies were fulfilled, but Christ's closest followers did not recognize their fulfillment at this time. Only hindsight were they able to recognize many prophecies recorded in the Hebrew Scriptures and how they had been fulfilled. Many prophecies regarding Jesus Christ are yet to be fulfilled. The Encyclopedia of Biblical Prophecy lists more than 200 prophecies of the Messiah, which are yet to come to pass. Okay, just as many precise details of Christ's birth, life, and death and resurrection came to pass exactly as foretold. Okay, so will many prophets that relate to his second coming be fulfilled exactly as spelled out in God's word? Okay, so that's the question. If the life, the death, and the resurrection came precisely exactly as the prophets of old foretold 1,000 years before Jesus even came, okay, because he is known as the second Adam. The first Adam is you have the first Adam, and Jesus is known as the second Adam. Okay, the first Adam is of physical, and the second Adam is of spiritual. Okay, And so this is the thing here. If Jesus Christ's life was done as his life, death, and resurrection had came precisely and as foretold. Now the question being is that would the second coming of Christ be precisely and forthward as told in the prophets of old days, just like the life, the death, and the resurrection had came thus forth when for Christ. Okay, so again, we have these prophecies that was related thousands of years ago that's still right now going on, and also we still have to. So a lot of people want to count out the Old Testament. No, no, no. We only go by the New Testament. Honey, we live by the whole thing. And if you understand it, you have to go back to the book of Daniel, to the book of Zechariah, to the book of Elijah. I'm sorry, Isaiah, Psalms. All that is foretelling a lot of things. And let me tell you something. If you go back to the book of Genesis and you go back to the book of Exodus and you read those passages very carefully and pray to God give you the discernment. Not that you come into full knowledge of your own, because when you come to full knowledge of your own, it ain't gonna work out. But when you come to full knowledge that not full knowledge, we will never have full knowledge. Okay, but God do give us the gift of discernment, and you ask God, to give it, bless you with the wisdom and the discernment to know those things that were written down way back then in the beginning. Those things are still precise to this day. And if you look at it, that old saying, what comes around goes around. It's just a full circle. It's like a recycled circle. The whole thing with Abraham and Isaac up there sacrificing a son, and then there was a ram in the bush. Know the edification that it pertains to when Jesus was walking the earth. Okay, how God sacrificed His son for us. Okay, so know these things. I just want to give you a little bit of insight. I also want, something troubled my spirit this morning when I heard it. I don't know how many people get 92 praise, 92.1 praise, or however, it's a Christian radio station that is nationally known for the Yolanda Adams Morning Show, the Lonnie Hunter Show. I was listening to the Lonnie Hunter Show today, and he brought something to my attention about Juanita Bynum, and that vexed my spirit, and I'm going to let you know. And I just want to give you that little bit hindsight on the little bit article that I read there, and I just, again, study the word for yourself. And I just want to tell you this: peace and blessings be unto you, and to everything you do, go with God as He goes with you. Love you. Take care. Stay tuned. I got to tell you about this Juanita Bynum situation. Okay, you don't want to miss it.